What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to our Trucking and Stories series, where we talk about an assortment of things that we don't usually get to talk about in other videos. And today what we are going to talk about in episode 4, I think, I'm losing track, is playing serious, playing for fun, the discussions that you often see on forums, the attitude many players have towards others, the toxic attitude that arises so often in telling people to learn to play, etc. What are you doing? And that's just something I wanted to weigh in. I want to split it up in a couple of different topics that all relate to it. And the idea for it was because I'm doing the series, and obviously we're not playing this game seriously. And if we are going to play any other games in the series, they are not going to be a serious gameplay neither. Oh, we were mildly too fast. Come on, that's a bit excessive. So my thinking is just, well, maybe we should talk about this once. And I was reading on forums and Killing Floor, because that is obviously a game I've covered on this channel, so maybe some of you have some sort of relation to it, but also in other co-op games and multiplayer games and even single player games. You read people asking about things or talking about things, and you so often read the term learn to play or get good. Especially the latter grinds my gears a little bit. And especially in single player games, I don't understand that, because their performance does not impact you. There is no reason to be rude to them and telling them to get good if they enjoy the way they are playing. If they're having fun the way they are playing, there's no reason for you to jump in and tell them that they're horrible. Just as a side note here. But actually the first thing I want to start with is cooperative online multiplayer games. And the reason for that is, if you have game difficulties, let's say, take the Killing Floor example, you have the difficulties of normal, hard, suicidal and hell on earth, then I actually side with the more toxic people. I don't side with their methodology. I don't think insulting people is the way to go. But I side with their message of play a difficulty that you belong on and don't ruin the game for other players. Because there's always two sides to it. Obviously you can say, well, I bought the game, I can play however I want. And that's correct. You bought the game, you can play it however you want. There's nothing stopping you from it. But the thing is, you personally want to have fun, but so does everyone else playing the game. So please consider that you having fun by jumping onto a high difficulty that you are not ready for, and then ruining the game for the other players, is not going to result in fun for all the players. So this is a point where I really have to say, the people coming onto the forum and complaining about this being a thing do have a point. Now, it's not going to change anything to go on the forum and rant about it. It's not going to help, it's not going to make anyone reconsider. But I am going to support them in saying that this shouldn't be a thing. Because the argument of let me play however you want, I paid for it, let me have fun, ends when you ruin the fun for other players, because they also want to have fun. So your argument only works in games where you don't simultaneously ruin the fun for everyone else. That's even an argument I've read of people cheating in multiplayer games, who have said, well, I bought the game, I want to have fun, and I only have fun when I do it this way. Well, for one, you have agreed to the terms of service, which clearly say that that's not allowed, so that is one thing that you already violate. But your point also makes no sense in the larger scheme because, well, yeah, you want to have fun, but so does everyone else. So maybe you might want to reconsider because your fun is ruining everyone else's fun. And that's fine if you're just better than everyone else, and to that extent you technically ruin everyone else's fun by beating them, but that's okay. But if your fun involves malicious behavior ruining the experience for other players, then I'm not sure I can support that still. And that's really where it comes in the grand scheme of things, because maybe you should reconsider your behavior, especially in the co-op games, where your task is to play together with other players. Please don't behave like a total jerk, ruining everyone else's time. Don't jump in front of other players, distracting them, just trying to get them killed so that you can clutch around or be the hero or whatever it is. Stop ruining everyone else's experience just for your own sake. Because when your argument clearly goes out the window of, hey, I bought the game, I want to have fun, well, so does everyone else. So maybe a little consideration of that could help some people. With that being said, there is one thing I actually disagree with, and that's the way it is conveyed in the discussion. And that is just telling people that they suck. That's not helping. Now, obviously, when you tell them they don't belong on a certain difficulty, that's like telling them that they suck, but it's a little bit nicer, you know? And what you can also do, what I rarely see and what sometimes actually works, is offering them help in performing better at the difficulty that they chose. Now, not everyone will take that advice, and not everyone will react in a way that is friendly, nice, or even welcoming. So don't expect any miracles, but you will find the occasional players would say, okay, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. I didn't know any of these things, so please give me some advice on the things that I might still miss and that I might want to learn. So there's certainly a point in doing that, I think. But that's really for the co-op games and trying to improve the play of your teammates. Because that should be the main point for you, right? Improving the gameplay of your teammates, because that's what annoys you. Your gripe is that they do not play up to the standards that you have set. And that's fine if they just really can't handle the difficulty and if they're constantly dying. And I'm not sure I buy the argument of I'm playing for fun if they're constantly dead on a difficulty they don't belong on. You cannot tell me that it's fun to go on a difficulty that is way above your skill level, to be constantly dead and watching other people play. Now, if you told me I just want to farm the achievements while the other people play the round for me, then I can believe that. I think you should just go away and come back when you improve, but I can see that point. And I think that is the truth and reality to that situation a lot more often than not. I'm just trying to discover this piece of road here, which I don't know how I didn't discover that yet, because apparently I've discovered that company over there, so I don't know. So that's my stance with the co-op games. They truly do not belong on most difficulties, and they just ruin the fun for everyone else. So playing for fun has its limits there, in my opinion. And just try to make sure that your playing for fun doesn't ruin the fun for everyone else. We will never get out of here, will we? Now my next point is single player games, and here it looks a little bit different. Because players not being particularly great at single player games really doesn't harm you. And I don't get why so many people insist on telling everyone that they're bad at playing this or that single player game. Because again, it doesn't hurt you that they are not very good at it. So maybe stop being rude to them in that way. Because I often read on videos and in forums how people are just attacked for their performance in story games and single player games and whatever it is, and I'm like, let him play how he is enjoying it. Just recently I viewed a discussion about in Assassin's Creed and in the forum about someone asking about a specific weapon and how to best use that. And I read so many comments along the lines of, don't use that, it sucks, you must use this, you're a total noob if you use that, blah de blah de blah. You know how people are. And that is where I don't understand it, and that is where I can see that he says, well, I'm not playing to maximize the performance or maximize my build, I'm playing to have fun. I'm playing to have fun playing this game. And if he says, I'm having fun playing the game in a non-optimized way because I so much enjoy using this type of weapon, then by all means allow the person to play that way. There's nothing wrong with using a non-meta build weapon in a single player game if that is more fun to you. And then going onto a forum and berating that person that using that weapon in general is just not good, or that he sucks at playing or whatever it is, just leave him alone. He asked for how to maybe improve the use of that weapon, and the answer to that is not using it. And in a way, I think people just want to be rude on the internet. I think it gives them an e-boner or something. But that having to feel superior by insulting other players' performance is something that I noticed a lot in the discussion of playing for fun versus playing to win. And I'm sure that person wouldn't enjoy dying all the time. But his goal was not to maximize his performance. And that is what also different difficulties are for. If someone has fun playing a single player game on the lowest difficulty, just jerking around, then by all means he can do that. There is no reason to then tell him that he's playing it the wrong way. In that sense, I fully support the conceit of, I bought this game, I would like to play it however I enjoy it, please leave me alone. And my main gripe with it is what I hinted at the start. It's the way this opinion is portrayed. because a lot of the time it is not portrayed in a way that brings across, hey, I want to help you perform better in the game you're playing, but instead it is being portrayed as, hey, you suck and I'm better than you. You must play this way if you want to be as good as me. And I don't like that at all. Because obviously that person is enjoying the game the way they are playing, and then you really should let that person enjoy the game they are playing it, or the way they are playing it. And there's really, it's just not your business how they are enjoying a single player game. And the comment I just made about the way you portray your criticism of someone's playstyle, or of the way someone plays, actually applies to multiplayer games, it applies to single player games, it applies to co-op games, to everything. Because it helps nobody to just go there and say, well, you suck. Not a single time have I seen someone react in the following way. Oh, thank you for telling me that. I didn't know that. How can I not suck? Please help me. Nobody has ever said that to my knowledge. Now, I'm sure someone maybe has somewhere, but that's not like a commonly occurring thing that regularly happens. So you should really ask yourself, am I trying to help someone, or am I just insulting people to make myself feel better? And if it's the latter, then that is just poor sport. That's just poor behavior that I don't really know what to say about. And I can understand the frustration in the co-op games, like I just said, and I can fully understand the frustration if you're playing a multiplayer game and you end up with not so good players on your team and you're losing despite doing well. I can fully understand that. I've been in that situation more than once, and each and every time I have silently raged about my teammates in my head. But there is just no point telling them that they suck. There's no point in upsetting your entire team by calling them all idiots. Because let's be honest, it happens both ways. And when they're on the other side and you're having a 50-0 shoot around, you will brag about your great performance and not complain that those people are existing. Right? We all know that. We all know it's great when we're on the other side. It sucks when we're on your side. I think I've never gone this fast before in this game. And we're cashing a bill, but we're going so fast it's worth it. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, but hey, look how fast we're going. Oh well. So again, I fully understand the frustration that comes with it. And I can fully understand if someone ends up on the wrong side a couple times in a row and he just vents and lays it into his team. I can understand that, trust me. But that's still not going to help anyone, and it's certainly not helpful to then go on the forum and bash everyone who isn't playing up to your standards. And there's also no point in telling people that are playing a single player game that they're doing it wrong, because obviously if you go to that player on the Assassin's Creed forum and you tell him, well, this weapon sucks, you must use something else, you suck, blah blah blah, don't you think that player has noticed that this weapon isn't great and that the other ones performed better? But maybe he had more fun using it. Don't you think if that player wanted to maximize his game performance, he would have read about it or watched a video or watched a guide or whatever it might be? Do you really think that going on the forum and telling him that he sucks makes him reconsider his entire existence and think about, well, he's right, I suck at this game, I should totally change my approach? And I'm not saying you can't tell him that this weapon isn't the greatest in the game. You can make a comment such as, well, personally I wouldn't use this weapon because it's not ideal for this or that reason and its performance is substandard, but if you want to if you truly are set on using this weapon, then you can maximize it by using this or that skill, or by using it in this or that way, or in combination with this or that other weapon that complements it well. And this insistence on meta builds is annoying in many games. To come back to, for example, Killing Floor, as I've covered this on this channel, I still think there might be 1 or 2 people left that know something about the game. You have your meta build, you have your meta weapons that are acceptable to use, and then you have weapons which are considered useless. But if you know what you're doing, and you know how to play the weapon and to play your role, and you use those weapons and you do well, then I really don't see why some people still feel the need to say you are using the wrong weapon or whatever it might be, because obviously I'm playing my role and I'm doing well, and why do you tell me to change that? I'm having fun. And that's the point at which this argument of telling someone in a cooperative game to change their game style ends, because as long as I'm fulfilling my role on the team, it's not their business with which weapon I'm doing it. There is an end to this argument, and that's at the point where their performance doesn't really impact the fun I'm having, or anyone is having. So there are layers to this. And I really want to end this whole discussion with, put yourself in the shoes of other people a little bit more at times. And don't just insult other people on their performance just to make yourself feel better. And if you truly want to help someone, then maybe offer actual helpful advice and not just tell them to get good. Because that's not going to help them, and it's not making you cool. And regardless of whether it might frustrate you that people don't perform up to your standard, not everyone has the time and dedication to games to learn each and every in and out of it, to learn each and every combo, hotkey, or whatever it might be in whatever game. So maybe consider that, especially in single player games. I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with telling people they're doing it wrong if they are enjoying their gameplay in a single player game. And if they're doing it horribly wrong and they die all the time, then I'm pretty sure they're not enjoying it very much. And I mean, if they still are, then whatever, let them do it. Then they might actually seek useful information to improve their gameplay, because they're dying all the time. But if someone is using a weapon that you consider to be bad, and he's doing alright with it and having fun, then I don't see why that's your business. It really upset me. It upset me enough to make a video about it, talking about this whole thing. The behavior of people on that forum. And you might not think, well, people are idiots, they just talk out of their ass, and, you know, why do you care? I care because I care about how we behave and interact. And I think if everyone just accepts that being rude is part of the deal, then that's not great. I have been rude, you have been rude, everyone has been rude. But if we just accept that as being part of the interaction. When we move in a direction of online interaction, which is just sad, which is we do not treat everyone in a respectful manner, and we say things to everyone that we wouldn't tell them in person, certainly. And this has been an issue for years and years, and just making a video about it isn't going to change anything, I know that full well. But if just one person maybe listens to this and thinks, yeah, maybe I could reconsider how I approach those things, then thank you very much. I have now given my opinion on it, and I actually think a lot of people are sharing that opinion. Because that's another thing, and that's really my last point for today. I have noticed that those insulting people are usually a minority. A lot of people are well behaved, a lot of people are helpful, but this minority seems overwhelming because they post so much and so loudly in caps lock. Obviously it's not actually loud, but they post in such a frequency and such malicious content that then spirals into discussions of people that were well behaved before but that just defend themselves. It's crazy. And I don't think it's actually that many people behaving that way. I really think it's a minority, but they just seem like there are so many. Because I think a lot of people reading that, a lot of considerate and friendly and polite people reading that, think I'm not going to get into that particular discussion now. So you're only reading the posts of the toxic people, which really makes them seem like they are kind of a majority or anything. That is the last point I wanted to make about this. So really this has just been 30 minutes of asking people to be nicer to each other. Hey, we're nearing Christmas. I think right now is the time to ask people to be nicer, right? So there you go. Merry Christmas. No, it's not that time yet. I don't know when I'll publish it, but probably before then. Merry pre-Christmas time to everyone. Just take care of yourself. Try to be friendly to each other. Try to treat each other with respect. And we will see each other in the next video. With more speeding offenses, probably. And hopefully just as little accidents. Did you notice how few accidents I had in this video? Despite racing like no tomorrow. And running out of fuel. I don't know where there is a fuel station on my way. I should probably check. I kinda want to continue this video, but I can't. It's been going on for too long. And I don't know, I've laid out my point, so there's really not much else to talk about right now. I don't actually know how long I've been recording for. So how late is it? Yeah, I've been going so nicely. We could go until the tank is empty and then I'm hosed anyway, so. Oh well. Have you noticed how little speeding tickets we get despite racing like no tomorrow? Speaking of racing, I'm kind of enjoying racing games a lot of recent past, so maybe more of that, I don't know. It's always hard for me to tell what I should be playing. I've been thinking about doing Crash Bandicoot, but I'm really not sure I have the patience to do a guide on that one. Because as fun and as enjoyable as Spyro has been, the Crash games, they truly frustrate the hell out of me. Because those are I mean, maybe I'm just inept, but I find them really difficult at times. Not to complete them, you can complete them without too much trouble, but doing boson 100%, well, that was always coming. Yay! So what do we do now? Services. Emergency refueling. Yes. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know that works, this emergency refueling. We still don't have much fuel, right? Probably won't get us very far. So now we have seen this. You would have missed that if I just ended the video right there. But if anyone has any experience, we'll refuel there, we will go off. If anyone has any experience with Crash Bandicoot on PC, or even on PS4, I mean, the games don't differ, please let me know. Please let me know. Because I've been thinking about it, and I don't know if that is really worth the effort to record that. Because I've been finding it really difficult, but maybe that's just been me, and maybe actually doing that 100% is not too bad, and maybe we can do that. I just don't know. I don't know. If someone knows, let me know. And I will refuel and then we'll end the video on that note. I didn't think we'd run out of fuel, but we did. So now we have seen something new in a video. Didn't think that would happen. So thought about playing Civ 5 in this series. So if that's something you find interesting, please let me know. If not, then also let me know, I don't know. But that is also a game that I play for fun, and it's a single player game, so my experience is none of your business. Just to get back to the earlier point, I like to just go to war with everyone and goof around, and I don't know. No min-maxing going on there, no grander strategy or no expert gameplay or anything of that sort. Whoops. Ah! So just expect a little bit of role-playing and annexing and getting annexed and VAI hating me and all that fun stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Maybe next time with Civilization. How would I fit that into a trucking series? Well, we are trucking units to annex the enemies, right? That would work. Would fit the theme. So yeah, until next time, farewell and take care. Bye.